Let me show you something. Let me show you a peek into why it's been so difficult. Here is Matt EBERFLUS talking.
We're working. Yeah, we're working. So it's we're working, and guys are working in fundamentals, and we're figuring out what we do well. It's a second game in our offense. So we're going to figure it out. I believe that we got better last week.
Does that look like a guy that would lead you to battle? Does that sound like a guy who knows what the hell he's talking about? Does that look like a guy you want to lead and to tutor and to shepherd this young quarterback? No, that looks like a guy that can't take accountability. That looks like a guy that's nervous. That looks like a guy that is lukewarm and doesn't have any belief in what he's saying. Now, contrast this with our new prized possession, Ben Johnson, golden pupil. Look at him and answer this question and break it down intelligently.
There really isn't a ton of carryover from what he was asked to do, the play calls or anything of that nature. I mean, he's always been very comfortable as a shotgun quarterback going back to college, and even last year. He's very comfortable in a 2-minute setting. He's very comfortable with tempo type plays. And so now we're asking him to be a little bit more structured in terms of the play calls. Sometimes there's multiple calls. There's shifts, there's motions. There's a lot more going on mentally than probably there's ever been for him. And so at some point, this thing will start slowing down, and he's going to be able to catch up, and his physical ability will take over from there.
Now that is a guy that we rally behind. That is a guy that we've never had in Chicago. That is an expert level analysis by an offensive play calling genius. That is a guy that is leading the Chicago Bears now and is taking Caleb Williams under his wing. That is the partnership. This will be different. It already is. And I get it. They're interviews. It's media. It's the offseason. It's training camp. We haven't put on the pads and played against another team yet, but at least this guy sounds more intelligent than we already knew he was. That was one of the big question marks hiring Ben Johnson. We saw the results. We saw his resume. We saw the play on the field match up. We didn't know about Ben Johnson, the person. We had hardly heard him speak. We hardly knew what type of leader he was, and if he could lead a locker room. Every time this guy speaks, I like him more and more. Every time this guy speaks, I learn something. And I'm betting my bottom dollar that every time this guy speaks to his team at practice, our Chicago Bears learn something. He mentioned that we're not making the same mistakes twice. I love to hear that because they're being coached well. And this is why it's going to be so night and day from years previous. People outside of Chicago and people outside of our fan base, they want an easy button to place blame. They look at the quarterback and they blame a scapegoat. They look at the coach and they blame a scapegoat. So many people want to place a target on Caleb Williams and say that he should have succeeded despite the lack of leadership, despite everything falling around him. No, it's the rookie's responsibility to help them win, to see them and lead them through it. But that's the type of coaching we've been fighting against, and that is the change in decision-making, and that is the change in identity for us. That's why we're bullish. That's why we're excited. That's why we have hope, and that's why it would suck to be any other team in the NFC North. Go Bears, baby.